Hi amateur chefs, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Amateurish. Today we're going to be making some garlic parmesan wings. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using in today's video. I'll be sure to list everything in the description box below. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pat these down. I'm just speeding through them. I do wash my meat with vinegar, lime juice, and water and rinse it a few times, but just wanted to show you guys me patting it down. Alright, so now we're going to start seasoning. We're going to start with some garlic powder. I am using about a tablespoon of the garlic powder. I do add more eventually, but I'm just trying to give you guys a ballpark estimate of how much I'm measuring everything. So now we're going to move on to the onion powder, and I'm going to use about the same in onions, or a little bit less, probably a half a tablespoon of the onion powder. Again, I do everything to taste, so I may add more. I'll put everything in the description box below. So with the complete seasoning, I don't measure this out. I just kind of ballpark it. So as you guys can see, I just added a little bit for the additional flavors. Now I'm adding Lawry's seasoning salt. If you don't have Lawry's seasoning salt, be free to just use regular salt. I just had this on hand, so I went ahead and added it. It's the green seasoning that I utilized in my that I made in my first video. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. Now I'm using some ranch seasoning. Now that's completely optional. I love ranch wings and I love ranch, but I think it helps intensify the flavor, but it's totally optional. So now you're just going to mix everything around until it is fully incorporated. I'm just going to mix it around. Alright, now that it has been mixed around pretty good, I'm going to add some black pepper. And this is going to be the step where I'm going to add whatever else that I feel like it needs. And then I'm just going to continue to mix everything around and get it ready to put in the air fryer. Now you can fry these wings if you love things to be deep fried. I generally like my garlic parm wings naked, so I would just throw these in the deep fryer, but I'm going to use an air fryer as a healthier option. So like I mentioned before, I do add a lot more garlic because these are garlic parmesan wings, so I do want the garlic to be nicely incorporated. I'll try to add some of the measurements below, but guys, I really do eyeball a lot of things, so hopefully you guys can get a sense of everything that I'm adding. I just added some more seasoning salt on there. I kind of eyeball it based off of the way that it looks. I'm like, it's not seasoned enough, so I season it more, but these wings were not salty at all. So definitely start with the lower measurements. That's what I have in the description box, and then you guys could expand on that. And then I'm just going to mix it around, and then I'm going to move it over to the air fryer. Okay, pro tip, you want to preheat your oven before putting the meat in. So I'm just going to preheat it at like 380, 370 for 10 minutes. Now that the air fryer has been preheated, I'm going to go ahead and add the meat into it. Now, some people may think the first thing you want to do is add some foil, make this an easy cleanup process. That actually makes it worse, or it doesn't evenly cook the meat. So you don't want to add foil. You want to add it directly onto the basket, and you're gonna let it cook. If you don't have an air fryer, I highly suggest it, because honestly, I don't really miss fried food since I've been doing this. I've done fried plantains in this, I've done French fries in this, and trust me, it definitely is worth it. Alright, so I believe I cooked the meat for about 370 for 20 minutes and then obviously stopped halfway. But I wanted to display to you guys that most air fryers have certain settings that you can set it. So there's the chicken setting right there, and it's at 360. I eyeball it and hit the manual button and do my own thing because I check it throughout the process and I pretty much know how long it's going to take. But if you're new to using an air fryer, there are preset settings, but I would just recommend checking it throughout. So I'm going to put this on 370 for 20 minutes, and then I'm going to check it halfway through. All right, so about 10 or 11 minutes went by. So these are the meats halfway done. I am going to flip them so all of it can be get some color, and get for another 10 minutes. And then if it needs additional 5 minutes, feel free to add that as well. But right now I'm just flipping everything over, and then I'm going to add it in for the additional 10 minutes. All right, so these are it after 10 minutes, the additional 10 minutes. So these have been cooking for about 20 minutes now. I am going to put them back in for another 5 minutes just so I can get a little bit more color on the meat. So I'm flipping some of them around and then going to put them back in. So while that's in there for the last 5 minutes, I'm going to make the garlic butter sauce that I'm going to put on the wings. So now I just have some minced garlic that I'm adding onto here. If you have fresh garlic, feel free to use that. I find fresh garlic a little bit more potent. So if you really, really love garlic, feel free to use that. The minced garlic is a little bit more subtle, so it's not too overpowering when you eat it. But feel free to add both. And you're just going to stir that in there. Now I'm just using some garlic powder to intensify the taste a little bit more. But if you had regular garlic, you probably wouldn't need to add the garlic powder into this. So I'm just going to mix it around until the garlic powder is fully incorporated, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, that's more like it. This is kind of more so the color that I like my meat to have. I didn't even like the way that one was looking, so I'm going to throw that one back in, but I'm going to begin to plate. So plating is pretty simple. You're just going to put the wings onto the plate. I honestly was going to try to do something cute here, but then I realized I was hungry, so I moved a little bit quicker. So I'm just going to go ahead and plate these and then show you guys how I add the sauce. Alright, now that I have everything on the plate, I'm just going to grab clunks of this. I start off just brushing the butter sauce onto the wings, and then after that I switch to just getting the globs of the garlic to make sure that all of that goodness gets into it. Some people put this back into the oven. I'm going to leave it like this. You can do that for like 2 minutes just to get like a toasty garlickiness to it, but honestly it's fine just like this. And then after that I'm going to add the Parmesan. This personally is my favorite brand of Parmesan cheese, so this is the only one that I use. You can use any brand, but I think that this one does the meal a lot more justice. Quick tip, I didn't do this, but if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of that ranch seasoning onto this as well. It also intensifies the flavors. Alright guys, there you have it. Garlic Parmesan wings. I added some parsley on it just to make it look a little bit better, but this is it guys. Thank you so much for joining Amateurish. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. See you in the next video.